But yeah, it's very weird, Steeler Nation right now. At least online. How much does that reflect actual real life people? I don't know, but
I think it's a difference. I feel like
I hope
online
so.
it's like the pressure of, hey, this is all we see because we're all going to follow each other, so we're all going to get the negative, and we just going to make it feel chaotic. When in
yeah,
real
because
life,
these people
it's not that, bro.
want us to lose the last 4 games.
That's what I'm
We're
saying.
actually in the playoffs.
That's
we're literally the
no,
6th seed
I'm about
right
to say
now.
not even just in the play. We're the 6th seed. It's like
We're the 6th seed.
but the way that
they want
make
us to
it
lose,
sound,
very winnable games.
Listen,
too.
the
All
way
4
that they
winnable
make
games.
it sound as if we were the most god awful for all season and have not won a game. That's the way they make it sound. It's funny to me at times when they're trying to either go at
lose to
Kenny,
get the serious
hey,
changes.
look, they're either
that's what
going
they
at
want.
Kenny or they're going at Coach T. But whenever they're making their arguments, they kind of like speak positive about both of the dudes. And I'm like, well, if it's as bad as y'all say it is, well, how is the success coming out of this thing from either party, right? If it's terrible coaching, then how does Kenny have any success? If it's terrible
Sure.
players, then how does Coach
That's a good
Tomlin have
point.
any success? It's like clearly they both are helping each other out in some capacity. Clearly, coaching staff and players are working together to at least have us as the 6th seed currently sitting here going into week 15. I don't know how you just averagely walk into that spot right there at this junction in the season. I think you have to, by just, statistics, prove that you are technically above average, which we are right now. Now,
We've underperformed recently.
That's
I
the
think
other part,
that's
yeah.
the thing we should be talking about.
Back-to-back
We legitimately
underperformances.
should be in the mix for the 1 seed at
Yeah.
this point. With KC losing, Baltimore doesn't look that amazing. Miami, they've been
But I think all of
somewhat
these
steady.
teams, though, if you're looking at it, right, haven't all of these teams had some type of upset? Haven't all of these teams had some of these quote-unquote bad teams knock them off? I mean, we talked about the
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals team that beat that Dallas Cowboys team with
Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs at quarterback. That same Cowboys team that just went to work on Philly, that same Cowboys team that's been whooping teams these past couple of weeks, right? That everybody's like, yo, man, maybe they're the 1 seed. Maybe they're the team. That same team lost to the Cardinals that beat us. Why is it that our loss to the Cardinals is oh so much worse while they had Kyler Murray?
Well, I don't want to make many excuses for
We'll
that
just keep it
loss.
going. I ain't tripping.
But no, I will say. I mean, we
Yeah.
lost Kenny. We lost Kenny in that game.
I'm just saying either way. I'm like, they act as if this is so god awful. The Patriots, we talked about them defensively, right? What did we say coming into this game about the Patriots defensively, man? They don't give up a lot of points. Pretty daggone good on defense. Now, I think the surprise was Bailey Zappi hitting a couple of passes on us.
Oh, he got lucky on a couple too. KZ did it again, man. I mean, that was a balloon ball.
But see,
That was an absolute
we
balloon
call
ball.
it
He should have
lucky.
picked that off.
You call it lucky. I don't call it lucky. I say it's execution. If that was Kenny throwing it to GP, we would not be calling it lucky. We would be calling
Kenny
it a
don't
nice
throw
throw.
balloon balls like that.
We would call it a nice throw,
Horrible.
bro.
I thought that was bad. KZ should have picked that. Well, he just made another bad play on the ball again. Like, man.
So that's why I said I thought it was a good throw by Zappi. I mean, shoot, the dude, you clearly found something that you like because that was the guy. Him and 38 was the guy he wanted to pick on. Clearly found something you like.
But I'm with you in terms of like the Patriots game. Well, should we talk about it now or?
I mean, shoot. We'll drop the intro.
Sure.
And then we get to it.
But no, that's
Yeah.
there's a really, really weird vibe with just Steelers content right now. Like it's like very, very strange.
Bro, you would think
Very
that, like I
strange.
said, we are the worst team in America. You would think that we've had the worst organization under Coach Tomlin.
These
ever.
people want Joe Flacco over Kenny Pickett right
Bro,
now.
I don't. They
These
want
people
everybody.
want Browning. Yeah,
They want
basically
everybody.
anyone. But
They're
it's
anybody
like I
they can
said,
turn
it's,
to, bro.
it's week to week.
Yeah.
If it was up to them, we'd have Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, seriously.
We'd have Josh
They
Dobbs
lose their
right now.
mind every single week.
He
bro.
just got benched.
Every single week they lose their mind, bro. Farron Bradford says, "You mean to tell me Flacco could come off the street
Here
and
we
put
go.
up 3 tutties?"
Here we go.
I guess some new film got to come out. Laughing out loud. I guess there will be some new film coming out. It's got to come out. I guess what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying that there will be some new film coming out. LOL. Said for the people that stat watch, you gonna be chasing this each and every week. For the people that are cutting on and watch it,
Let's see how the Joe Flacco
Absolutely.
experience plays out with the
Yeah.
Browns. Let's see how it plays out.
we also
It's 2 games.
Well, my thing is,
And you would think they'd be 2-0 right now.
but
They're 1-1. They lost to the
less
Rams.
about that though. Less about that. Give it a legitimate sample size.
Right, exactly.
That's my whole ordeal whenever we're comparing a Jake Browning or we're comparing a Flacco off the bench or a Josh Dobbs in a 4-game vacuum, right? It's like we're comparing these super small sample sizes to a guy's whole tenure here in Pittsburgh. If we just hyper focus on a span where Kenny played well, heck, we'll do that. And yeah, we're going to feel good about him going against some of these other dudes. But that's not what we're doing. This is an apples to apples thing. So you can't cherry pick the argument. And that's ultimately when it comes to Kenny, or even when it comes to the Steelers as a whole, when you hear the people say mediocrity, they cherry pick the argument. They instantly go playoff wins. It's cherry picked. And that's fine. But just say, man, we want more playoff wins. Don't call it mediocrity, because those are two different things, which we've already broken down. But that is also what you get on social media right now, man. They just venom, and more venom. All right. Let's go. UW says, that's the elite Super Bowl champion, Joe Flacco. And I will say this, though, just in the sense of when they brought up the Joe Flacco and the Zach Wilson element, don't lose sight of the fact that both of these dudes are ultra talented. Both of these dudes, in terms of physical attributes, just because a player doesn't play consistently does not mean that he is not capable. And I think that that is another part that I think with Zach Wilson is a prime example. We've seen Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has a strong arm. Zach Wilson is athletic. In terms of Zach Wilson consistently playing quarterback, that is far from being the case. So we could take yesterday's game. Cool.
And he looked great. I will give him credit.
Right.
He looked great.
Now let's
Very
compare
confident.
that game to the 6 or 7 games, how many games he done played in, right? And now we look
Or how about
and
his
see-
whole career?
once again, right? It's like, are we looking at outlier, or are we looking at what has been his average, what has been his consistency part? And once again, that's when we're saying we're cherry picking parts of how we compare Kenny. You know what I mean? When they're going to bring that part, it's like, bro, we know Zach is talented. Yeah, Zach can make throws. We know Flacco is talented. Yeah, Flacco can make throws. But over a 17-game sample size, let's see who would be the better option between them type of dudes with Kenny. I think we would both be in agreement. It would still be Kenny.
They don't think that.
But hey, it's not funny.
No, they want
you know?
Jeff Flacco. Even though, as I mentioned, when Kenny's quarterback for the Steelers, we do win games.
Yeah.
Now, the reason Kenny might not have as gaudy a stats as some of these other guys, we don't ask him to pass as much as some of these other guys as well.
Once again.
And I'm not specifically talking about this year, because I do think Kenny's play this year as a whole could be better. He's had some ups and downs. But what has been consistent with him is winning games, doing what it takes to win games, clutching the fourth quarter, and not turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know.
No.
Like, and people don't think he's physically capable or he doesn't have the talent. He's proved he can make every NFL throw that you ask him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals game just, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? Basically had 300 yards there and a touchdown. But people just care about stats, man. They don't consider the fact that if we're in the red zone and Kenny hands it off to Jay Lamorne, it's a positive. It's not a negative towards Kenny. Like, watch the games. There was one season with Ben. I've said this how many times, and you would know this too. What was it? 2015, 2016. I think Ben only threw 21 touchdown passes that year.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been a top 3 or 4 season I've seen from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was leading the league in yards
Yeah, he
per
was
game.
cooking.
I know he was banged up a little. I missed like 4 or 5 games that year, but
But
that
he
might have been the
cooked.
most
That was his
dominant
year.
I've ever
Mhm.
seen.
He was cooking.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But only 21 touchdowns. We ran it a lot when we got down within the 5, and we scored.
But that was the year where both.
I know what I saw.
Yeah.
I know what I witnessed
seriously.
game in and game out, and it was dominance from Ben.
Nah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. But we also know we can't.
People care
we
more
come-
about 300
yeah.
yards than wins.
That's at the end of the day, style points matters to people more than victories, and that is something that we're seeing at least among Steeler Nation, because even with all of the complaining, we're still sitting, like we said, as the 6th seed with 7 victories. So can it actually be to the extent that these people have tried to make it sound like? I just don't see how that can be accurate.
I think
and
we're
we still be in
close.
this position,
I
man.
actually think we're close. The problem is Kenny's hurt, and we've been getting too banged up here.
Yeah. Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, the top-rated sportsbooking app in North America. Not only is it safe, but it's secure and it is reliable. And that's what we absolutely love, because we know this time of year it's getting hot. It's getting heated up in terms of sports, right? We got basketball, we got football, we got hockey, we got everything cooking up right now. So you got a chance to get your parlay action. You got a chance to cook up with whatever you're looking to get into. But more importantly, if we're going to do it, might as well talk about the promo code that comes with it. Simple. You download that app, right? DraftKings Sportsbook. You making that first deposit, right? At least $5 on it. But you use that promo code MOATS and you'll receive up to $200 in free deposit bonus money. It's a great concept. You use that money to potentially make more money. You can't go wrong with that thing, baby. Promo code is MOATS. But at the same time, we know sometimes we be tripping. You might know somebody. It might be you. Has a gambling problem. Might need some crisis counseling or even referral services. For my New Yorkers, it's the number to text and call. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-GAMBLER.